Moving on to the AFC Championship game, the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Buffalo Bills 32-29 to advance to their third straight Super Bowl. They've made what, 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. They're just, an unstoppable force in the AFC, looking to be the first team to ever three-peat. But let's talk about this game for now. Josh Allen, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Cook, 13 carries, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. Matt Collins, an absolute stud in this game, 3 receptions, 73 yards, and 1 touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, 245 yards, a touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 64 yards and 17 carries, and a touchdown. And Xavier Worthy, 6 receptions, 85 yards, and 1 touchdown. So this game, significantly more interesting than the NFC Championship game for a myriad of reasons. Chief, no pun intended, among them is the narrative that Josh Allen can't beat the Chiefs. They've lost 4 in a row to the Kansas City Chiefs. Really got their heart broken a few tries ago in that 13-second score to force overtime game. But every year that they meet in the playoffs, and you're like, maybe this is the year that they get over the hump. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid are right there to just stiff arm them back down, to bring them back down to earth. And I know this was a rebuilding year on paper for the Bills, and maybe that can soften the blow a little bit. But like, if I was a Bills fan, I would hate Patrick Mahomes. I'm a Dolphins fan, so to me, honestly, I kind of am fine with seeing the Bills lose. And look, the Bills beat the crap out of my Dolphins at least once a year, sometimes twice a year. So imagine me not being particularly sympathetic to the Buffalo Bills when they lose in these moments. But I do, if I can try to take a step back out of my fandom and look at it like, what if I were in this position? I would be sad. I would hate the Chiefs. But yeah, tough times for the Bills. I mean, I think they'll be back. As long as they have Josh Allen, they can win any game. And that includes any playoff game. They almost won this one. But that being said, they had 3 timeouts, down 3 points with 3 minutes left, over 3 minutes left. And they ended up turning the ball over on downs. And I think that is a negative indictment on the Bills, on Josh Allen, on their offensive coordinator, Joe Brady. And I think like that spot, if you reverse it and you give the ball to Mahomes, you're confident he puts the dagger in, he scores a touchdown. If not, he at least gets a field goal to force overtime there. So that last play also, I mean, unfortunate, 2 men came completely unblocked, and the throw could have been better, but Dalton Kincaid, he's got to catch that ball. It hit him in the arms. I know it was a tough catch, but like, it was probably an easier catch than Mark Andrews last week, where I said he needs to be catching that ball to tie the game for the Ravens. He was at least coming back to it and hit him like in the forearms. So very disappointing there. Very Bills way to have the season end for them. On the flip side, Patrick Mahomes, man, this guy is unreal. He's now played 7 straight AFC Championship games. This is his 5th Super Bowl appearance. He has 3 Super Bowl rings, beat the 49ers twice, beat the Eagles once. Maybe he's going to beat the Eagles again. At 4, he's only 29 years old. I never thought I would see anybody like Brady, and now I'm convinced I'm seeing someone better than Brady. Obviously, the longevity plays into it, but at 29, he's already the second winningest playoff quarterback of all time with 17 wins. Brady has 35, of course. So that's like the thing. It's like, okay, will he just continue this clip that we've never seen before? No one's ever played like this. He's one of one in this. Or will we have a mid-career lull in the same way that Tom Brady had a mid-career lull? how long is Andy Reid going to coach for? He's an older guy. And can you find someone to be as good as Andy Reid when, you know, he does eventually retire? That's the big, like, overall questions, but not something we have to address in the moment here for Patrick Mahomes in any ways. I think, you know, just an outstanding performance. Like I said, 29-29. You give him the ball, he gets that field goal, he gets the dagger, he gets the first down after the Bills turn the ball over on downs. He's just amazing. 101. There are a lot of people who are complaining about the Bills getting ripped off by the refs on the spotting of a potential first down, and I think that's legitimate. I think there's a gripe. I think there really needs to be an emphasis on looking at potentially implementing a system to track the ball where it's not just coming down to what the ref sees, because those two refs, the two line judges on either side, they had different spots for the ball, and they ended up going with the one that went against the Bills, which is very disappointing if you're a Bills fan. So I think that's legitimate for sure. And then there's other people who are like, hey, good for the Chiefs, good for Patrick Mahomes. Can't stand him. Can't stand the Chiefs, can't stand this prolonged success. I certainly understand that. For me, it's not as bad as when the Patriots were doing it. I live in Massachusetts. I'm a Dolphins fan. I got to see firsthand all of that dynasty unfold from beginning to end. And it was exceedingly frustrating as a viewer, as a fan, to watch Brady always get it done. So for me, I'm kind of like, oh, maybe Patrick Mahomes will pass Brady. Maybe that'll be great. That will heal me in some ways. But other than that, I do understand why you'd be frustrated, especially if you're a Bills fan, especially if you're a Ravens fan, especially if you're a fan of anyone in the AFC West. And the only way I got through with Brady, and it took a lot of like pure hatred in settling that down to get to this point, but the only way I got through it was just being like, this is a run that will never be duplicated. He's one of one. It's historic. They'll never see someone like that. I was wrong. We would see Patrick Mahomes almost immediately be better than that. But there is still the question of longevity. Will he be able to pull that off? We shall see. But that was kind of my coping mechanism of like, I'm an NFL fan. I love football. I'm going to appreciate greatness while greatness is here. And maybe that doesn't work for everyone. And I totally understand that. So if you're a Bills fan, how do you feel about this loss? If you're a Chiefs fan, how do you feel about this win? Patrick Mahomes. And really, I just hope you're like not taking it for granted, because this is unprecedented. I really, really, really can't imagine anybody ever duplicating something like this. But I didn't think anyone could do what Brady did, and here's Mahomes outdoing him. So let me know your thoughts about all of that in the comments.